JT, welcome back.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. How was your Christmas and New Year? Was it all good?
Yeah, just stuck around here. Didn't go anywhere. I have a new rule. Don't fly after December 15th.
What is that?
Just to stay away from airports.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Busy as shit, I bet.
Is the most miserable thing possible is having to fly or travel in December.
I think airports are shit anyway. I hate airports. Even at, even as, Air Force men, they're fucking so stressful. Like civilian airports are
It's
stressful fucking places.
just packed. It's overpacked. You know, it's so hard to keep up with the demand of just how many people are traveling constantly. So it's just a numbers problem because it's for you to increase the size of an airport because you've in you've experienced more capacity due to a population increase. I mean, that takes forever. That was like a Salt Lake City, just went under like a 10-year program of them trying to build this new airport, and it's open now and it's nice, but it's still packed. Like
Mm.
it's almost as if they planned for 10 years ago for it to be functional and not
Yeah,
right now. Like right now it's like once it was open it's still just packed.
it's mad. And everyone's in a rush. Everyone's in a rush.
Yeah.
It's like it's like the old saying, it hurry up and wait, because you get there early enough.
Yeah.
And then you rush around, you get through all the ticket line, you get there, then you sit down, and you're like, oh, now what? Oh, now I gotta wait for
Well,
2 hours.
that's if you can sit down.
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah.
get
Yeah.
early enough to have a seat. Like that's the thing. By the time you get to the gate, there's already everybody standing everywhere. So yeah, it's just crowded.
Yeah, definitely shit. Definitely. But I hope you had a good Christmas and I hope you had a good New Year.
Yeah.
Lots of beers, lots of whiskey,
Uh
or not too
maybe.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe. I can't really remember, but maybe.
Did you stay up there just hunkered down?
Yeah. So my mum and her husband came up. I don't like saying stepdad because they got married when I was in my 30s. So I'm like, you're not my stepdad. That's not a thing. Um, but yeah, they came up to visit
Killed
just
it with your mom and her husband.
yeah, they came up just before Christmas, which was nice because I haven't seen my mum for a while. Uh, Still, I generally haven't seen my old man for months. It was quite funny the other day. So my dad phoned me. He very rarely phones me unless he wants something or has something to tell me, like he's got the girls a present or something like that. But he phoned me up, and I was like, "What's up?" And I could hear in his voice that he's been drinking. So he was properly smashed. And what's the matter? He went, "Just feel a bit lonely." I was like, "Oh, Dad, how dare you?" And he was like, "Yeah, I just feel a bit lonely." And I was like, "What are you doing?" He went, I'm on a course at the minute. He's renewing his close protection license,
Yeah.
so he's on a course." And he went, "It's a load of bullshit. I'm on my own. I'm lonely, so I thought I'd give you a ring." And I went, "Does that mean I'm your favorite son?" And he was like, "Yeah, you could say that." So to my brother, I know you're listening. Told you I was the favorite, but you know. But other than that, I was around the wife's family pretty much all Christmas.
Oh, well, hopefully that went well.
Yeah, it was nice, very nice. No dramas, no issues, no fights. Just just nice. Makes a change. There's usually someone drunk and causing some sort of ruckus at some point, but
I mean, where isn't that half the fun?
yeah, yeah.
What area are you in again?
What's that?
What area are you in?
I'm in Kent,
Oh, C
southeast.
CENT.
It could be Kent. But
Well,
unless you're playing the game, uh,
Assassin's
Assassin's
Creed.
Creed Valhalla, then it is Kent with a C.
Well, apparently it must have been spelled like that back then because
It
it
must
was
have been.
it was spelled like that in the Last Kingdom.
Yes, which is which is awesome. And the
Yes.
new The new one's good. The Vikings Valhalla is very good as well.
Well, so we restarted Viking Valhalla because it'd been too long. So we figured we'd
Yes.
refresh first and then watch the second.
Yes, you do have to. I have to do that with quite a few, especially if they leave a long gap between series. It's like I need a refresher. Definitely need a refresher. So I tell you what, me and my wife have just started. She's not into it yet, but I think she'll come around. Is Yellowstone.
Yeah, we haven't even touched that.
I've only watched like 2 episodes. I'm like, this is pretty brutal already. Like having livestock agents that are fucking shooting at each other and all sorts. I was like, what the fuck? America's so cool, America.
Well, yeah, I've been on the opposite side of that, of down the whole Last Kingdom, and then playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla in sync with the Last Kingdom was pretty sweet because I can go explore the same towns and
Yes.
landscapes. I rolled down to Winchester and walked around.
That's a crazy one, Winchester. When you first get there, if your level's not high enough, you get smashed to pieces. Definitely.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I spent a lot of time just leveling up and then started screwing around.
Yeah, yeah. I did loads of the little side missions because I noticed that you could get like specialist weapons and all sorts. Like you can get Thor's hammer and
That's what I did. Like I
Odin's
good
spear and all that.
armor, good weapons, and then skills and or the abilities, and then boom. Like so.
Yeah, I had to get tips from my
Well,
brother.
should be.
Yeah, I had to get tips from my brother when I first started because I was dog shit. I was getting smashed all over the shop, and I was like, I don't think I can be bothered to play this. And he was like, No, no, no. He went, what you need to do is remember that you still got to be an assassin as well. He went, you can't just go in full Viking all the time. And I was like, ah. He went, yeah. So you use your bow and arrow, go and get on the top of things and shoot people in the face and all sorts. I was like, yes. But yeah, down in Scent.
Yeah, I've got the map pulled up right now. I'm looking for it.
So in fact, I believe there is a little I don't know if it's on the game, but it was definitely around then. There's an area literally down the road from my house called the Friars, and that's where a lot of the monks lived.
Really?
Yeah.
So where is it from Norwich? South?
Yeah, south. So I'm not too far away from Canterbury and Tunbridge Wells.
Okay.
So if you see that, or Royal Tunbridge Wells, as it's now called.
I was just looking at Canterbury.
Just checking out the map.
Yep. Well, I mean, I see Deal and Dover.
Dover, yeah. I'm a little bit higher than Dover, more into the middle. Maidstone, you might see.
I
That's
see Maidstone.
yeah, that's pretty much where I am. That's where I am. I'm in a tiny little village called Eccles. I'm pretty sure we did something similar to this last time.
Well, it's like now I feel like I have a relationship with this map because I just watched, what it's 6 seasons, 5 seasons, 10 episodes a piece. It's 50 hours.
Yeah, you're invested, my man. You're invested.
Then I had to like look up why the Welsh hated Saxons, and then realized, oh, Saxons were all Germanic and
Yep. So
Normandy people.
that's still the case now. The Welsh don't really like the English very much, which is quite funny considering my mum's Welsh and my dad's English, which actually makes a lot of sense now.
I'll still hate the English, huh?
Yeah. Well, pretty much anyone in Great Britain, as a whole, don't really like the English. Pretty much none of the pretty much none of the world like the English. Especially even down to sports, but nobody likes the English.
Well, so we've decided since everybody's on this kick right now is that next year in 2024 we want to get a Viking longship 1-1 replica and sail from Denmark to the northern coast where the first pillage
Yeah, yeah,
was.
yeah.
But what was the monastery called? The first one?
Oh, you're gonna have to fucking Google that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get that up on Google. But it was in Northumbria, I believe.
Yes, it
First
was. They hit the north.
monastery.
So essentially, it was just a straight shot. You know, they headed straight west from Denmark until they hit Northumbria and started the raid. It was in like 8:30.
Lit, oh, I can't even fucking pronounce that. My dyslexia is going wild. Lindisfarne
Yeah.
in the north of England.
What year was
Lindis,
it?
793 AD.
Oh, okay. There we go. 793.
Boom. Welcome to the history of Viking podcast.
Well, it's funny because there's a guy here that he's the manager of this really cool restaurant and bar that's right down the street from me and Matt in Bernie. And he's from Ireland, and he moved over here in his late 20s. And I asked him last time I was up there, I was like, what did you guys learn in history? He goes, not a lot, because if we told our history, it's really bad for the English, and we're not supposed to be
Yeah,
bashing them.
yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true. But then even down to when I was going through like primary school, and even my kids now, we don't really get taught much about the British Empire and British or English history in that aspect. What we do get taught is World War One and World War Two, and that's
Really
pretty much about it.
start with the kingdoms, like they don't
Nope.
fucking roll you back to
No, not
why.
really, not really. Which is mad because the amount of history just from this small island, even down to the Vikings coming over, the French, even the Napoleonic Wars and things like that. It's like, why are we not learning this shit? This is
Well,
brilliant.
so yeah, I just bought the Saxon Chronicle by Alfred, like the actual transcribed Saxon Chronicle, because I wanted to fucking read it. And reading it, you're reading the exact text that guy wrote,
Yeah,
like, which is wild because it's like, and you see how much time was in between a lot of this stuff. Where when you watch The Last Kingdom, it's like, oh, 3 days go by and we're gonna march the armies and fight another battle. It's like, no, it was like one every 3 years they would
yeah,
do this. Like they would
yeah,
send the
yeah.
army to a barracks up north to help repair it and like hang out. And it's like, and that's how he's writing this. Is it's like 871. This is the year that we marched, the Northern Army to the border of Mercia, like, and they repaired the barracks and got everything fucking set up there.
It's
But
it
even
is
then, like,
it's a fascinating read, and and watch and even down to playing it on the fucking game. It's it is amazing how they helped mold basically the civilization that we have in the UK. And then obviously we got invaded by the Romans afterwards, which was nice. They gave us straight roads.
afterwards, no, that was before.
Was it before? Of course it
Right,
was.
yeah. Rome fell in 500. So
Yeah.
here's what's wild
Oh, here we
is
go.
is
History with JT.
you have you look at you go look at they've done recreations of Rome in like 300 BC. Like, and it is epic. Like epic. Their whole thing, the technology and the construction and everything is beautiful. And then they had moved up over to you guys and like started pushing people over there, and built some monasteries or churches and shit like
Mm.
that. And then they fell in 500. And then we go backwards 1,000 years for about 500 years. Well, I mean, more than that, almost 900. Like, there
Yeah.
was no cities like Rome anymore. Like Winchester, when I looked up like what Winchester was like in the ninth century, like it wasn't anywhere near Rome.
Yeah, it's mad.
Like, so it's like we went backwards. And I think it was because the constant fight for fucking land. Like,
Mm.
how are you going to build a city if every other year you're getting attacked by the Danes or the Norse
Yeah, yeah.
or Or,
You're trying to build an infrastructure, and then someone fucking comes in and goes, "No, you're not. I'm going to set this shit on fire."
and then even then, and that was like when we got to that episode of where they go to ask the Welsh for help, and they're like, "We fucking hate Saxons." So I like looked up like, why? I don't get it. Why did they border this thing off? And then it's like, okay, so all the Germanic and Norman people were coming over. They were the Saxons. They forced all the Britons out of London, essentially, and everybody moved to the west and just kind of walled off Wales and had to fight in Saxons for hundreds of years.
So there's a my hometown, which is Hereford, was one of the main points that both sides wanted during a small little conflict between Wales and England, and it kept getting swapped whether it was Welsh or fucking English. That's where I'm from, and whenever I come back home to the missus or where I live now, they're like, "You're Welsh, by the way." It's like, no, Hereford's in England. I'm like, it's 26 miles in England. They're like, "No, I've got proof here that it used to be Welsh, so you're Welsh." It's like, oh, fuck off.
Well, it's like you can't even it traded so much. I mean, every time a new king was crowned, they'd come up with, they would fight their thing, and then that guy would die, and it would all unravel because it was Arthur's son's son who finally drove the Danes all up into Danelaw and ordered it off, united the kingdoms. And then it was a Norman who came over 150 years later that deleted the border and created England.
Yeah. And then and then obviously the monarchy,
an English person.
And then the monarchy started happening, and then I was speaking about this with my daughters the other day about how crazy English or British monarchs are as well. So I like to use Henry VIII as a perfect example. The man created his own Christianity religion so that he could get divorced.
Yeah, 9 times.
He was like, I want to get divorced, and the Catholic Church was like, no, and he went, well, I'm going to create my own church then.
The Church of England.
Yeah, just so you can get divorced.
Tea and cake of death.
and if his missus couldn't create him a boy, you'd cut her head off.
Yeah.
To live back then.
Yeah, let's be thankful we did.
Yeah, exactly. But you can actually sort of see a similarity in terms of like you were saying about how things were progressed. You had cities, you had well-built roads, you had infrastructure, etc., and then lots of wars happen, and it all goes to shit. You could say the same for the likes of, Afghanistan for a start. If you look at Kabul back in 1970, whatever, it looked it looked like just a normal Western style city, and then you go there, in the early 2000s up into recently, and you're like, these dudes are living in mud huts again.
Yeah, exactly. But I'll tell you what, this has made me really want to go over there now. I want to go over there because I want to see some of this, some of these places, But it's also like Braveheart really screwed up that movie.
That's all out of whack. The Braveheart movie is not chronologically right. So I'm pretty sure.
I don't know why they changed it so much.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Robert the Bruce. I'm pretty sure Robert the Bruce had nothing to do with William Wallace, but I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure there's 100 years apart between Robert the Bruce and William Wallace.
Well, I mean, it was just his most famous victory, because the odds were so unbalanced. It was 6,000 to 15,000.
Yeah.
And Wallace fought him on Stirling Bridge, pushed him to the bridge because he was like, well, they can only fit so many there, so we'll fight him there. That's a movie in itself. Why the fuck didn't we get that? It's just Hollywood has the option.
They like to cram it all in.
Yeah, but they had the option to like make this incredibly accurate and be even cooler than it actually is.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah. But yeah, that's another great movie that depicts the English as horrible. You got
Well,
that.
you guys did steal
We
Scotland.
let's face it, we were dicks.
Again, but then again, who you can't even classify who it is because if you roll in on the Saxons, like those were Germans and fucking French.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, all the Britons ran up to the west and kind of hung out over there and said, you ain't coming over here.
yeah. Which is why the likes of the Welsh, the Irish, and the Scottish, they all get along. They all love each other. The Celts, as they're known, they
Because
love
they
each
all
other.
kind of hate you.
Yeah, they all. Yeah, it's the United Kingdom of hating England, and they got their big brother over the, or sorry, little brother
I mean,
over the other side of the pond that also hate us.
to be fair, like if you broke it down in simplistic terms, like those three fucking countries constantly just had you guys would get a new king and that person would say some fucking shit and they go, great, here we go again.
Yeah,
And then they'd finally all settle down and comply, and then a new king would come in and be
mm.
like, no, this is how it's gonna be. They're like, Jesus, can you guys make up your minds?
Yeah, exactly. It must have been fucking yeah. It must have been an absolute ball ache back then. It must have been a fucking ball ache. There's still apparently an ancient law that you can shoot a Welshman outside. It's either the cathedral or the town hall in Hereford, where I'm from, with a longbow at midday on a certain day. I think it might be like the 30th of the month or whatever. But you can. It's still written in law. It's like I'm pretty sure if that happened, that you're not going to get away with that.
So I just have to fly into London and then roll south, and then
Yeah,
I'm more.
yeah. So I am about an hour and a half away from Gatwick and Heathrow airports, and then you've got Stansted and Luton. They're all pretty close.
See the
This is
Gatwick airport.
so yeah. So that's the pain in the ass for my area that I live in Kent. So the house prices are through the roof anyway, but because we're so close to London, but also outside London, so you can travel in and out. You've got all the main airports pretty close. Fucking puts all the house prices through the roof. It's madness. It's madness. Need to go get myself a ranch
Yeah,
with acres of land. That's what I need.
sounds like a good plan.
Out of the way of everyone. I want to be out of the way of everyone. And I don't want no Vikings coming over to pillage my house.
Exactly.
So what's been going on? What's been going on? Any new projects in the pipeline? You've obviously got loads of time to be sitting there watching 50 hours of Vikings, mind.
Oh, that was just what we did over the Christmas break.
That's just over the Christmas. That's right. You're entitled to a break,
We knocked like
JT.
3 out of night, stay up till 1 or 2 in the morning.
Yeah, you dudes are entitled to a break. You guys work fucking hard, so get your break. Watch your Vikings. But
Yeah.
what any new projects? Obviously, you've said about you want to sail a long ship, but any other sort of projects that are sort of
Build a little Viking camp. I've got some badass wardrobe. I had a Hollywood costume maker make me and Jack Mandeville and Corey all Viking outfits, so we can film some funny stuff with that.
oh, that would be good.
And construct like an old little camp.
Yes, you got yeah, you've got some yeah, you've got definitely got some ideas now for some new commercials. You could say,
Yeah, I gotta grow my hair long.
do it, do it. Get some locks going so you can just shake it out. It's either that or you, yeah, or shave on the sides and leave the long, grow the beard out.
Yep, we're doing it.
Getting it done. JT the Viking.
We'll see if it translates. We'll get the costumes, get the hair done, and then we'll check it on camera and see if it's something we need to continue.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure you can make it work. I reckon. I've seen some of your stuff. Pretty sure hot. Like, to be fair, just a little. I think it was you guys did a World War Two sort of commercial where you fire one of your cold cans out of the mortar tube.
Yeah.
Fucking epic. Who comes up with these ideas, or is it just something that you guys sit around like a table and go, I want to fire something?
Well, that was like one of those ones where it was like, hey, it would be hilarious if we had like mortar team, and we built like the mortar pits and we all had World War II outfits. Like it was just one of those times that was just like we were coming up with something that we just wanted to all get in World War II garb and like bleach bypass it, make it look muddy and everything. Like it was just kind of one of those fun film things.
Yeah. You got some decent stuff. I always fucking find funny, like even down to the things you don't hear a military guy say or an operator say or something like that, and things like that. I love those. So I sit there and go, yeah, I just fucking chuckle to myself. My wife's like, "What are you on about?" It's like, "Don't worry about it. You wouldn't understand. You don't understand. You don't know."
Well, that's the thing is, I think you've got to be up on the beach when we land the boat there, and we'll have role players play the monastery people, and we'll get out of the boat and just start faking like we're hacking people up, and you're just like, wait, a bunch of Americans are reenacting the first Viking raid on, like, it's like, guys, no, too soon. It's like us making 9/11 jokes.
Yeah. No, I think that'd be fucking spot. That would be brilliant. I think it would be brilliant. Oh,
I just want to experience what that trip was like. Okay, we're a bunch of Danish that are like, we're going to this new place to go set up shop and take over. Let's check it out.
Especially with the way that if you go back and with Ragnar Lothbrok and all that, the way that they never went that way before, and he went, no, we need to go west instead of east, and then there we go, boom, look what I found, church gold.
Church gold, and it's
unguarded because why not? And there's loads of it.
That's too funny.
Definitely. You could get Matt to play someone like Bjorn. He's big enough.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I made a lot of phone calls and recruited my whole boat team.
Got it. You're sorted.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. But yeah, it's amazing. Just going back, it's amazing the history of just the fucking world, really, when you think about it. The crazy stuff.
I want to experience that trip in the aspect of, I sailed
That's
for
the crazy
5 days, nautical miles on a fucking longboat. Like no technology, nothing. Like
it's gonna be cold as shit in the North Sea, mate. It's gonna be cold as shit.
I have to have furs and all kinds of stuff.
Definitely, because fuck. All the, like you said, you've got the props guy that's going to sort you out. You're gonna have to say, look, mate, you're gonna have to line this nice and warm because
we're gonna have to do it like they did it. Like they did it. Like these guys did it. So how the hell did they do it?
They're built different. They're all like 6 foot plus.
Oh, everybody was
blonde hair.
Man, I gotta wait for this.
They literally were thawed out of ice and sculpted by Odin himself. These beautiful humans that they are.
Yeah, but even then, when you look at that trip, like Denmark to the coast is probably one of the shortest, like, of the things. Like from England to us, oh my god.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. We've got a I'm not sure where they're actually traveling from. There's a group of lads from my regiment that are rowing. I don't know if they're rowing from Tenerife or if they're rowing from England. But anyway, they're rowing across to somewhere on the east coast of America, and I'm like, that's fucking crazy. Why would you? Why? Obviously, they're raising money for charity, but
At the distance, like so it's 300. So we're 3, 6, 9. It's probably 1700 nautical miles, like from UK to Washington D.C.
shit, that's some distance, isn't it?
And yeah, you're going 3 knots. So imagine the revolutionary British, the royal like guard sailing over to fight us.
Yeah,
You're 3 miles an hour on a 1700-mile trip.
that's gonna take some time. That's like going back, obviously, to the Revolutionary War. You go back when the Brits would have sailed over as we did, as we like to do, to colonize wherever we was, and we get
212. I'm working out 212 days. Let me
fucking
see
hell.
what we.
That's it's a long old time. And how did you greet us? You threw our tea in the fucking river. How dare you? We were thirsty by the end of it. Have you done that for an advert? So obviously you guys are
What?
Black Rifle Coffee, getting rid of all the
Not
tea.
yet. Okay, it's saying a 66-day voyage. So that must mean they're probably going a little faster. They're probably going 6 knots or so.
A little faster. Still. Jeez. It's bad
Between
enough.
40 days, depending
Bad
on the
enough
wind.
on a boat. Well, I was
What?
in the Air Force, not the Navy. It's bad enough on a boat. Fucking seasickness.
40 to 90 days that you're just sitting on a ship. And like you got to imagine like if you were just the private or the lowest of the low, like you don't have a
Yeah.
quarters or nothing. Like it's just you have whatever you took in a fucking back, a little backpack. Like
Yeah.
you're not showering. There's not
No.
enough fresh
I
water for.
I always thought that as well. Imagine how bad people smelt back then.
Well, I guess like that was something that turned the Middle Ages was in like the 1300s after the Second Crusades. You guys brought back soap from from the Turks, and that stopped a lot of death and disease.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It's just mad because I remember I think I was watching like a period drama or something like that, and you just see him scoop up shit and just throw it out the window, and he's like, "That's disgusting." That is vile. Just walking around stinking with rotten teeth.
Yeah, I know. But
Oh,
dude, even looking at this, like the how Icelanders made it to the UK is crazy because or Greenlanders, like because you have to do quite the freaking navigation to get there. Otherwise, you're just hitting Ireland.
yes, yes, yeah. But it's funny because they obviously when they first landed at the top, they didn't realize the length of
Like how
Britain.
big it was. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're not exactly fucking huge, but you know, when you get to the top, you get one monastery. Which, why would they put it so close to the fucking? I'm gonna put it right close to the sea. Nobody's gonna get here.
To be fair, like that was the first time they had encountered this. So,
Yeah.
from what I read, like they were still confused. Like when the Danes hit them in that monastery, they're like, "Wait, who are you guys?" It's all brand new.
So they rock up and they're like all screaming, all fucking axes blazing out, short swords, and a fucking poor little fucking monks rocking around going, what are you guys doing? Leave me alone.
Yeah.
I'm just here to spread the word of God. He's not going to help you now.
Greenland has a lot of ice, but
Yes,
Iceland,
that's the funny
Iceland.
thing. Whoever named that got it round the wrong way. So Iceland is really green and lovely and beautiful looking and picturesque, and then you've got Greenland that's a big giant. Didn't Donald Trump want to buy Greenland? Or did I make that
I
up?
think there was a pitch of Greenland being up for sale, possibly.
How do you buy a country? That's proper fuck you money if you can go and buy a country.
Oh, that country, I'll take.
I'll just that one. It was fucking. And then you've got the fucking president in a minute, isn't he under some sort of investigation? Didn't they
I
find
have
some
no
stuff on
idea.
a laptop or something? Fucking
Who knows at this point?
who knows with that guy? He could be doing anything.
Nothing ever comes of any of these things. It's like the news explodes and everybody goes rabble, 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 and then it just gets forgotten about.
Yeah, I've noticed. I've noticed. It's we need to go back to a simpler time with
Yes.
no. Well, apart from we wouldn't be able to do this, but
I think we should start appreciating the 90s a little better, where everybody was just kind of
yes,
chill.
yes,
Like there was no wars going on. Everybody was just kind of minding their own business. Like the 90s, between like 92 and 99,
yeah,
we had a good run.
yeah. I was a mere boy growing up, but it was brilliant. It
Yeah,
was
people were
brilliant.
down, people were all about skateboarding and surfing and
Yes,
the X Games.
yes. See, I go back because obviously being English, like even down to the football, like or soccer, it was just fucking amazing to watch. And you didn't hear much about the football hooligan side sort of stopped because that was all dealt with in the late 80s, so there wasn't people as much fighting at football, so it was more of a joy to go and watch. You had fucking brilliant bands like Oasis coming through, and it was yes, take me back.
Yes.
Put a bucket hat on, circular sunglasses. Fucking time to be alive. Time to be alive. JT, we've got less than a minute. Do you want me to send you a new link and we can carry on the conversation?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. I'll send you the new link. Otherwise, it'll cut out and I'll go and you'll be like, "Where the fuck's this dickhead gone?"
Coming. I'll wait for it.
Oh, mate. Hello. You're at the adverts, so don't turn off. Don't turn off because I've got some good stuff for you. First up, I'm going to talk about our sponsors. Kent CBD is our first sponsor. Now, CBD oil, as you know, has tremendous benefits, especially within mental health and physical health. Personally, I use it to help with my anxiety and my depression, but not only that, I also use it to help with the aches and pains of life in my joints, especially my ankles and my knees. But yeah, without CBD oil, I would have still been on my antidepressant tablets, which I'm no longer on. So, every cloud. And what we're going to do here at Granite Zero is we're going to give you 10% off everything from oil, muscle rub, jellies, bath salts, the lot. Yeah? Make sure you get in there. www.kentcbd.org. Put in the promo code GRANITE0 and get yourself 10% off. You are welcome. But also, if you're like me and you love a nice cup of coffee. Now, for me, I only drink one coffee, and that's Green Beret coffee. Now, I don't only drink it because it's out of this world fucking coffee, roast to order, grinded to whatever specific grind you want. But not only that, it's veteran owned and veteran run, which, hits me right in the feels. So make sure you check it out, Green Beret Coffee. Get yourself a nice cup of coffee. I drink it dark, just like my soul. Incredible stuff, incredible stuff. And what I'm going to give for you, I'm going to give you 10% off. So once you get to the checkout, once you've got all your coffee, your products, your apparel, whatever you need, get to the checkout and put in the promo code GZPodcast10 and get yourself 10% off. Courtesy of the Granite Zero podcast. You are welcome. Now, that's enough of me talking about this stuff. Back to the regular scheduled show. Check it out! Hey! Welcome back to History with JT. Black Rifle History, you should call it.
Hey, it's interesting stuff.
No, it is. I agree. Definitely.
I mean, it just showed there was a lot of greed in those time frames. Everybody wanted that seat at the throne, and it was just like, man, the Romans had something right. Let's work together and fucking get some shit built.
Yeah.
And then the Saxons, English were just like, let's fight for 700 years.
Let's just fight everyone. There's a proper like islander mentality. We're gonna fight everyone. Short man.
I just wonder, like, what went down between like 500 and 700? Because you don't hear shit about that.
No,
it's
not
like
really.
that was pretty much,
Right.
as the Christianity was somewhat spreading. And however, why it's that's another interesting thing I'd love to know is why did the Saxons just roll into Christianity so easily? Like, what was so awesome about it that they were like,
so
oh yeah, we'll do
enlightening.
that? Well, yeah, because weren't the Welsh Druids?
I believe so, yes, along with the Irish.
So the natural
Which
kind of
is
faith
crazy
there.
considering the Irish now are very much religious
Catholic.
based. Yeah. Yeah. Especially the Southern Irish are very much Catholic, where Northern Irish is very much Protestant. Hence the fucking conflict there.
If you think about that, like in terms of now, as almost as like somebody woke up and was like, "Hey, Scientology is the new thing we should all do," and all of a sudden everyone just goes, "Yeah, we'll do that."
Yeah.
Like,
what? There's people that are like little aliens that are controlling my mind? Yeah, definitely.
no, it's just the mass migration of like getting everybody to roll in on a new religion. That's, how the hell did you do that?
It's yeah. Like, did someone just stand up and go, right, I've got a big book here. Stand by. There's some fucking magic in this.
Yeah.
This motherfucker turned water to wine. And then his dad actually killed him, and then he resurrected him somehow. And yeah, so Jesus is actually a zombie as well. So
yeah.
And then got slotted at range 15.
Yeah.
When's the next movie coming? You guys got to make another movie. Range 15 was fantastic.
That's something that there was a conversation literally this morning with Evan. Like, we've been talking about one. He was like, "How much do you think we could do it for?" I'm like, "I think we can do it for this." He goes, "Well, let's just do it. Let's get something going."
Some say it's going to be a Viking raid.
The plan on the table right now is something so good that everybody in our community is going to go, "Oh my God, yes."
Oh, I like the sound of that already.
We're going to be throwing
carry on.
massive amounts of shade
on
ourselves.
Fantastic. Love all that. I got to say, I don't know if I mentioned it on the last one, but it was actually surprising how natural you guys are when it comes to being in front of the camera. Like, when I watched Range 15, I was like, this is actually surprisingly good considering you guys are a bunch of military guys that do coffee mainly. No offense.
I think it helped that we played ourselves. I think that's part of it. Like, there wasn't necessarily any real acting going on because everything was written the way that we wrote that was written from ourselves. Like I wrote my dialogue exactly how I would
How
say
you
it
would
in
say
this
it.
whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. So
How the character plays out, my character of just being funny and ridiculous. Like,
yeah, it worked
that's what
really well.
yeah.
Naturally funny as well. It's that dark sense of humor that I think we've mentioned before. That
Yeah.
I think all around the world, doesn't matter what military setup you're from, you have that dark sense of humor where you can make fun of fucking whatever you want to make fun of, really. Like even down to Marcus Luttrell saying I guess he's not the fucking lone survivor anymore or whatever it was. That was class when he just pops up.
We just had to make fun,
It's got to be done. If you can make fun of stuff, then what's the point?
And that's what we have to do with this next one. We have to bring it back. We have to bring it back that we're talking shit, like,
Yeah,
and that we're funny, and this is funny, and it's going to be a total satire, like ridiculous
love
thing.
all that. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. All the different
I agree.
projects. To be fair, you guys are on a run of luck as well with everything that you seem to be touching. You got the Midas touch, as they say. Seems to
Well,
turn to gold.
yeah, luck is definitely a major part of it. Timing, luck, and then just work.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people don't realize is the amount of hard work. Like I said to jokingly saying, "Oh, you managed to get some time to watch your Viking show. You must not be up working that hard." But that's a tongue in cheek comment because you guys put in some fucking hours. You've got to do with even down to like the editing of your little short clips that you put up and your commercials for the brand and for the coffee. And that's just one side of it. You've obviously got the Lead Slinger whiskey as well. You've got Article 15.
No, Article 15 closed in 2019, and Lead Slingers is kind of on autopilot with Brad and Garrett that do that over
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, really, it's focusing on Black Rifle. We definitely are going to start working on a book, like the actual book of, hey, how did we do this? So
Yeah, yeah.
everybody can look at like this path. I think having that release at the 10-year anniversary would be really cool. Like,
Oh, yeah,
because then
definitely.
yeah. So those are the things on the horizon. You'll probably see us start a new podcast, not like a show, like on the Black Rifle Network. Mike Glover has taken over as the host for the Black Rifle Coffee podcast, but we're talking about starting a once a week morning show called the Black Rifle Morning Brew. That'll be me, Matt,
Nice.
Evan, just ranting, raving like this on
Love all
once a
that.
week. Yeah,
Love all that. Definitely. I'll
that's kind
definitely
of
be
what.
tuning into that. I need something to watch and listen to while I'm pretending to do my regular human work.
And then we're even kicking around the idea of like going straight to just YouTube now, like abandoning everything else and being like, if you want to see us, go us on YouTube, like
Mm.
ditching Instagram and everything. Going, hey, we put out a couple videos a month. Like that's where you can find us. Just changing things up because we've
Yeah.
been doing this for 9, almost 10 years for me. Like, time to try something else.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want to be stuck in the same sort of thing going over and over and over and over again. I find that even down to doing what I'm doing, like no offense to yourself coming back on, which was a thing. I'm trying not to get the same people on all the time because then it's like, oh right, we've heard this guy talk. But however, we are talking something different. Like when I first got you on, I didn't. Well, as you know, I don't really have a set fucking script that I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna be going. All right, JT, we've got. What do you think about the crisis in Uganda? Fucking bullshit. We sort of just go off topic and talk about whatever, and that's what I like. But getting fresh new people in, as hard as it actually is when you're a tiny podcast out of a shed, it's hard work, and you've got to put the hard
Yeah,
work
but
in.
The setup is nice though. It's accommodating because you just do it through Zoom, and
Yeah,
all you can do is write people a letter and say, "Hey, would love to have you on."
yeah, exactly. And occasionally you get a yes from a legend over the seas that's gonna travel on a longboat.
Well, now I got to come over there, and you got to take me to some of these places.
Yeah, do it, do it. I'll tell the wife I'm
I'll
going.
probably
Right, I'm off. She's going. Where are you going? I'm taking JT on a trip around UK.
well, if you could just find me a place to rent for like 3 weeks in your town, as long as you got a pub in the town that we can walk to.
Oh, of course. That's one thing that us Englishmen have plenty of. There's actually
Perfect. Well,
I'll
then,
try and I'll try and get it up. I'll try and get it up. There's a photo of the difference between American pubs in terms of where they are on the map compared to like pretty much the whole of England is covered with dots of where the fucking pubs are. It's mad. UK pubs on map. There you go.
that's what I can go over there when I want to write the first draft of this movie,
Yes,
and just write all day, hit the pub at night, wake up
so,
again, and do the same thing
that sounds
over and over.
good. That sounds good. Let me save that to photos, right? And then I can get it up. Here we go. So this is just for Great Britain, so it hasn't got Ireland on there, which is probably covered as well. Yeah.
That's solid. That's solid.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I've got a literally just up the road from my house is a pub, just walking
That's
distance,
perfect.
staggering
Well,
distance.
there we go. That's all. That's all I'm looking for. That's all I'm looking for. So let's get this planned. We'll bring a camera. We'll go do some historical searching, and
Yes.
we'll have a good. We'll write a movie.
Yeah. Love all that. Love all that. Make me some mega bucks so I can quit my normal job and stay in the shed all day, chatting to people.
Yeah.
That's the dream. One day, one day. But no, it's awesome that you've got all these different things in the pipeline still, and the fact that you don't want to stagnate and stay the same. Like, there's nothing worse than
And
just
that's
putting
why I
out the
think the
same
next
shit.
is a movie again. I think going back to another movie, we've learned a lot in production since then. So I think this one will be lion's share better than the first, and we just have a good time.
Sounds good. Is it gonna be zombies again? Can I
No,
probe on that? To be fair, that at that
it
time, I think when was it? 2000 was it 2016?
scene is when it came out. Yeah.
Fucking look at that for knowledge. Um, that was around the sort of time that fucking Walking Dead and fucking Zombieland and fucking etc. were all sort of prominent movies, so it made a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the hint you get on this one is think scary movie, like the movie Scary Movie,
Yeah.
but towards the veteran community.
Oh, level that. That right, just like sort of touching on the scary movie. That's one thing I do love is, like I said earlier, the short videos that you guys do and the Halloween special ones that you do. The different ways that you kill these like fucking monsters or fucking zombies or whoever else, murderers and that, and you just see you guys like
Yeah.
pitching up and you're fucking just it's just literally the ideas that go on in a squaddie's head that you're like, right, if I had a fucking Jason coming at me with a big knife, I'm gonna just blow him away with a 50 cal if I could. And things like that. It's like, yes, that's what we want.
Yes, yes. This is going to be fun. I promise.
Oh, I'm fucking excited now. Yeah, it's lucky that the camera's fucking waist height, so I'm too excited.
Well, this has been freaking awesome. I love it every time.
Nah, it's always my privilege and my honor to have you on, JT. It's fucking class, mate. It really is, and genuinely, like even down to my little history lesson. No, it was
Good
great.
time. Yeah,
It was
it's
great.
fun talking about different things. Like you said, it's just fun
Yeah,
talking about different shit.
you just got to shoot the shit sometimes. It's like I always put it down to it's either I always have it as it's like a conversation you have in a bar. If you
Yeah.
could, you would have this sort of conversation in a pub, and or when you're on stag watching a sanger or something in a fob and you're watching out and you've got your battle buddy next to you. These are the type of shit conversations that you'd have anyway. You'd be like, what happens if the Vikings came right now? You're like, well, I'd probably shoot it with my fucking rifle. But but yeah, mate, genuinely, I hope you have a fucking good rest of your day. It's nice and early for you still.
Yeah, awesome. Ready to go get to work.
Yeah, you get to work, mate. You have a good time. And thanks again for giving me your time and jumping on.
Always a pleasure. Take care, my man.
Never a chore. I'll catch you in a bit. Bye, man.